Okay, so I've had this idea in the back of my brain for a couple of days, and I've been kind of afraid to do it. So I figured that I would jump right into it, and I'm going to try and follow a Bob Ross painting using Clip Studio Paint because they have some very very powerful brush engines and stuff like that. And I actually went through and I downloaded a couple of more from their little store. So hopefully I will be able to imitate to some degree an oil painting. I know absolutely nothing about oil painting. I took an acrylics class. I could tell you what is in paints. Surprisingly, like when Bob says titanium white all the time, he's actually talking about titanium based pigment, so metal mixed in with the paint base made out of oils. It's kind of interesting actually thinking about it because you don't really go into it. Um, I also am a little proud of how extra I went. I copied the hex codes. I found and copied the hex codes of all of the paints that they mentioned at the beginning of the video, except for the white and the black, which I assumed would just be strong white, strong black. And I couldn't find Van Dyke Brown or any of the variants in the nicknames of colors that I used here. Um, all the other ones showed up, and yeah, so that one I just made a dark brown. I think it looks fairly similar, at least kind of a muddy a muddy brown anyway. So just a dark muddy brown. Otherwise, I was able to find everything else. And obviously, like there is a thing in paint as well that not all companies, not all manufacturers would mix uh, uh, would mix pigments the same way. So this might turn out a little differently anyway, but overall, I mean, I'm no good at drawing landscapes, so maybe Bob could teach me a thing or two. Alright, so let's pull them up. I chose one that I was fairly interested in. It's going to be up in the upper hand corner here for you guys. I'm going to close my video so that I can see him on my computer. I had some technical difficulties earlier trying to figure out my headphones. They got turned off or something. So I've got him at my left ear. I'm watching him up on my other screen here, and we're just gonna try and jump right into it. I think the first thing that we need to do is uh, get some black on our canvas. Assuming it kind of fades out near the top. That looks nice, right? Bit of a grayish green color. Okay, so we've prepped our canvas. Continue, Bob. Okay. So yeah, the phthalo that I got. This is another example here of a wondrous color mixing. Um, the phthalo I got is definitely not as green. They said it was a warm blue. I thought this is a green blue. I mean, green blue I guess could be warm, but it's mostly it's a blue blue. Consider this more of a sky blue. Be like that. That looks a bit nicer to me. It's close to a lighter version of the Prussian blue is the thing. Oh wait, is he? Oh, he's doing trees. Uh, ah, no, I wanted. Okay, so we're gonna blend maybe. Yeah, I think that's the best way we can get that effect that he was talking about. Maybe. Otherwise, not really gonna be similar. My attention span is not good enough to directly follow along with this man. That's my next test to see how well my ADHD survives uh, with just going through. You know what? That looks nice though. I'm getting there. I'm getting proud of myself. Maybe a little too proud, but you know, yet to see so. Okay. There. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. Just please leave it alone. Let's continue. Oh, we're almost halfway through this. What? No! Oh, I jumped forward. No! Okay. Prussian blue, black, brown, crimson. Prussian blue, black, brown, crimson. Blue, black, brown, crimson. Okay. Blue. Blue, black, brown, crimson. Okay, let's see if I can do anything similar. Is it right there? Okay, that'll work. Are my trees redder than his? Absolutely. Are they dope? Absolutely. Oh, those are very red though. That looks nice. Okay. You sure about that, Bob? Because my color that I got was very purple. Monica, I forget the rest of those names. Yes? Good? Good. Okay. Very much purple. Bring you over here. Mellow. And we mix. And hopefully get a green. Okay. Alright. There's a green in there. Somewhere. I think. A little too brownish. That'll work. I forgot to change brushes again. This feels like it's going to be a trend. I'm in the zone quite a bit, I will say. This is kind of relaxing. Just following along with somebody painting. I've never really tried it. That'll work. Oh, I can't do that, Bob. That'd be cool, Bob, but I can't really do that. Okay, so you said blue and white, right? Blue and white? Blue and white. I'm remembering correctly. I wish the caption showed up when I scrubbed it. Yeah, just white and phthalo. Okay. And the issue is that I've worked with phthalo only in acrylics, and yeah, it turns very sky blue when you put it onto white. It does not quit. So this might not be a good color. Yeah, this feels just like it's just the base for phthalo. And that it has this, yeah, it has this weird color changing property. So it's going to be a very, that might work. This is almost a purple light, but nope. Oh, how does this look so good? Years and years of scenery practice, really. You know. It's kind of interesting the way that it works in like the space, though, because they're like, well, this is a, you know, this is a 2D image, and then just out comes comes Bob with his depth of field like a god. Vertical density again. Showing you how to carve a world out of a 2D black space. Like, that's super cool. It looks so good. It looks so pretty. Oh no. It also, like, I'm trying my best to do this quickly, and like, I know I could get a similar result if I did, if I went through it the way that I know. I mean, I wouldn't, because I don't have any experience in this, but I could try. It would take me, personally, hours. You know? It's just, gah. Gah. Okay, that's starting to look like something, kind of. Yeah, I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. So that I can basically follow along with him. I'm not really even doing that well. That doesn't look too bad. Let's keep going. I swear I'm not colorblind. My computer is. Oh, it's okay. We're learning. We're learning. I wonder how long I'll have been here by the end of the day. Probably like an hour. Trying to give myself a fighting chance against Bob here, guys. Okay, he's a professional. I know. We blended it out a little bit, and it looks better. A little. You know. Blending. And blending. Blend everything. That's something. Okay. That sound. My life color change. Probably not both of them are the same. You know, like, I like Bob Ross. I don't have much nostalgia for him. I think I watched him maybe once or twice as a kid. I was never explicitly interested in painting that I couldn't follow anyway. I think when I did finally watch him, I thought that it was calming and interesting as a kid. Haven't a lot in the craze that has followed. My background looks so bad. I just looked up. Everything looks so bad. I'm devoted to this brown color. My trees are gonna look a little dead. Yes. Totally. Ah, shoot a little. I'm gonna shoot a little. Okay. I haven't spoken because Bob's just sitting here making me happy. I'm vaguely emotional. We're just having fun now. I've been infected with Bob Ross's happiness and personality here. Happy birthday! Thank you. I really got into it. Like, it was hard, you know, like, and I'm happy that I did, but it was hard not to get infected by Rob's personality. It's okay. I mean, sorta. To some degree. It's definitely nowhere near, and would not be, Bob Ross. Not within this lifetime, really, but not within this video. I was just trying my best to follow all the way along with him. E. There we go. That was nice. Yeah, like, he's so infectious when you get in. You're like, oh well, you know, it'll be a disaster, but it'll be fun. And then when you start doing it, you're like, or once he starts getting into it, you start getting into it. You just get, or at least I did, got pulled in by his boisterous and happy personality. And it made me more confident as I went along. You know, it's hard to tell what color is what, especially. See, that all looks so green, especially in my laptop because my laptop is colorblind. I swear. I'm trying to fix this sky up. I don't like it. I don't like the sky. Everything else started to turn out okay, and then the sky just came in, and I was like, oh, I forgot that the sky existed in this painting, and it sucks. Look at his mountains. I swear there was a jump cut. They didn't look anything like that while I was watching the video. I turn around and he's got these giant mountains. It's definitely an interesting study in depth. Keep playing around with this until I end the video, I swear. It's an interesting study in depth. I think just watching him work with this because, like, obviously he does. I saw something that he did paintings, stuff like that beforehand. That he usually have a copy so that he'd know what instructions to be giving, and he's probably working based off of it, some sort of um, reference, even at least in his head. That's what years and years of oil painting will get you. You know, it's very soothing. Like, this isn't something that I would probably replicate in terms of like trying to make art that I would give away or sell because like it's Bob Ross, you know. Um, but the method behind it, like just trying to add in more and more depth to the world and just make it more and more closed in is so interesting. Like, I know you work on the background and then the foreground and stuff like that, but the way that he just brings in everything into his composition and it just looks so nice. And this looks so bad. When you look at it from far away, it's very nice. I mean, it's definitely not as nice as his, but I don't know, it's impressionist. His is almost realistic. Um, oh, my river really suffered over here. Uh, yeah, like you just think like there's not enough. You're like, oh, I've made a scene in the first 10 minutes of the video, and then he keeps going. That's the crazy part about it. So yeah, I feel like despite the fact that this doesn't look 100%, it does. It has a good study appeal to it. A masterwork study, really. Of course, it's Bob Ross. There. That's not better. I'll sign mine though. Here. So, conclusion. I suck at this, but there is some opportunity, I think, in there to make a painting similar to what Bob Ross does. I just don't know if it's within the same amount of time. You know, it just he goes so quickly, and then he's done in 25 minutes, like less than that. How? Just that is like, and obviously, I like you could, but you probably need like 50 more brushes, I think, than the one that he's using, and different complicated programs and stuff like that. Like, there isn't to, to my knowledge, at least, I'm sure there is, but like, there isn't an immediate, like, I dip my brush in two sides of this paint, or something like that. That the blending techniques for something like this and something digitally would be much different. and I obviously don't know a thing about painting landscapes anyway, so yeah, mine turned out bad. Like, it's a good composition because it's Bob Ross, but it's so sketchy. Like, this is like concept work for something that would be much more impressive. I don't know. That was probably just me though. Like, it was fun. I like this tree. This tree over here on the left. This is my favorite. This tree right here. I like this. This is my tree, even though he's a little brown. This is my good tree, and maybe the bush, and like a couple in the background, maybe. Yeah. So beside that, I think I'm gonna. Let's see what else. I think I'm gonna save and go through the hell of editing this video, and I will see you all